Hey, good morning, Eastern Oregon, and welcome to this September 3rd version of AM Live on EOA, your connection to Eastern Oregon. And don't forget, all of our stuff is available at the EOA.network. EOA.network is the link tree that takes you to all of our stuff. How are you, man?
Good.
Good.
Good. It's second Monday.
You know, it was...
First Monday, well, second Monday.
It was a weird, I mean, I got up this morning and I knew it was Tuesday. I mean, I knew we had a show this morning, but I forgot about all of the other stuff that I have to do on Tuesdays. It's like, yeah.
I didn't. I knew. I came in on Sunday for like half a day because I had pictures and a bunch of stuff I needed to get done. So
yeah.
And then, yeah, just good weekend. It was nice. It went by way too fast, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, really fast. All of a sudden, it's September 3rd. Here we are again.
Yeah. How crazy is that?
It's September. We have 4 months left in 2024. That's it. This is like...
I know. We sound old when we talk about how time flies like that, but it just does. I mean, it just is like you can't get away from it.
I think I said this before, like when you're young, it seems like the days are so long.
Right.
And like I can't wait for Christmas to get here. Now, I'm like, I don't want Christmas to be here.
Yeah.
Because that means it's the end of the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's nuts. It's really nuts. Oh, the new law went into effect on Saturday or Sunday. The new drug law. September 1st was the date for it.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, so it's no longer legal to have a personal amount of hard drugs in Oregon.
Well, they have and it's up to each county how it is that they're going to enforce it. That's kind of how they left it. And I forget what
it's still against the law now, though.
Right.
It wasn't a criminal thing since 2020.
Yeah.
Which is nuts to me. But
yeah. So now it's a misdemeanor, but it's an unclassified misdemeanor. So then each county can. It's
not a slap on the wrist anymore and a $100 fine.
Well, it kind of that conversation is still going on over in Multnomah County because they have what do they send? It's they have centers that they're trying to put together that you still. And so there's still a lot of discussion about how severely that's going to be enforced depending on the county. So
yeah, that's crazy. Well, we're not gonna be lenient on it. Not our county.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe one of the things that failed, like for us, we don't have a treatment center here in LeGrand, but wasn't like when they introduced that law originally, wasn't tax money from marijuana supposed to pay for a lot of the stuff? Well, we don't get any tax money. We opted out of that as a county.
No, you're thinking those are two different things. We opted out of we didn't opt out. One is some of money has. I mean, I know from CHD, and I'm not specific. I don't know the specifics, but some of that Measure 110 money has come into Union County. I don't know how that has been used.
Oh, okay, so it's different money then.
Right.
Because we don't get any marijuana tax in Union County.
But that's a different topic
altogether. But that is what they said was going to fund part of the treatment centers and things was
there were going to be funds that came
marijuana
in.
Funds, yeah. But I was wondering if you were a county that didn't opt in, were you a county that was going to end up not getting the funds? But obviously, you said that we still got funds.
Well, we got funds, but I don't know what that went to.
Yeah.
And they don't. There's a word they don't call them treatment centers. That's in the new one. It's called. I don't know. Starts with a D, but it's like. Anyhow, but we don't have any. I mean, they've kind of reclassified the treatment center as a. I don't know. They've tried to increase the disincentive of getting caught. with drugs. So I don't know. We'll see how it all goes. But we still have the problem of, even in the way the law has changed, it's supposed to be accompanied with a treatment center. And we don't have any treatment centers in this area.
Well, in this area we do.
Right.
45 minutes away.
Right.
But we don't have one in town.
Yeah.
And the one that's 45 minutes away is always full, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, especially this time of year.
Is that the one in Baker?
Yeah.
And that is for drug treatment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's a drug and alcohol inpatient treatment center.
Now, do they have a women's prison also?
Separate prison? I don't know. They have a
Baker
women's
City?
treatment center. I don't know about prison. I have
Yeah.
no clue. How'd it go from treatment centers to prison?
Because I don't.
They're not even tied. They're not even tied
No,
together.
because I think it's a women's prison. I don't know that it's a treatment center.
There is a treatment center. I know somebody that works there.
Okay.
100% women's treatment center in Baker.
So
New
is
direction.
it a men's treatment center then
Absolutely.
too? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Men, women. There used to be. So there also used to be a kids, but they closed that. But there's men's and women's, and the women's you can have one. I think up to one kid with you living there with one of your kids if you have a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course they separate men and women
Right.
because you're supposed to be focusing on
Right.
getting sober. But yeah, I know somebody that works at both actually.
Okay.
Yep.
All righty. Well, hey, we kind of took a rabbit trail. You want to do sports?
Yep. Let's do it. AM Sports Report brought to you by Buffalo Peak Golf Course. Take the Union Highway out through Union, take a left, go up the hill, and you'll see what Dana and his team have done out there at Buffalo Peak Golf Course. It's gorgeous. 18-hole link style course. Man, just go out there. You have to see it to believe it. It's beautiful. The pro shop's beautiful. Dana and his team do a great job. Buffalo Peak Golf Course. Meet me at the peak. LeGrand boys shut out Junction City on Friday 2-0 in soccer, and then the girls turned around and followed it with a shutout of their own 3-0. I snuck down there after we got done setting up the stuff for the live stream and got a couple pictures. LHS football opened their season on Friday night versus Astoria at Community Stadium. They won against the Fishermen 32-0, but me personally, I don't think we can judge anything based off of that game. We'll see. I mean, there was a lot of things that we did good, and then there were some things where it was quite like, whoa, what are we doing here? But I think a better test will be this Friday, actually, against Vail here at Community Stadium. On Sunday in Salt Lake City, the EOU women's soccer team tied Division II Westminster University. They play again on Friday at 6 p.m. in Walla Walla versus Whitman. EOU volleyball kicks off the CCC season on the road this weekend versus OIT in Southern. That ought to be good. EOU volleyball is number 3 in the country. I think the next poll comes out this Wednesday. They might move up, and they're 8-0 on the season. Football kicks off their season with their non-conference game against Montana Western, who's in their conference. They just play them twice this year. The first game in Dillon is a non-conference game, and then the next game, which is the season finale, is at home, and that will be the conference version. Like I said, LHS football hosts Vail at Community Stadium at 7 p.m. this coming Friday. That'll be live streamed right here on the EOA Live Network. LHS volleyball goes to Nissa today for a 6 p.m. match versus the Bulldogs. LHS girls soccer hosts Fruitland at 4 p.m. this Wednesday at Community Stadium, while the boys go to Cottage Grove for a 5 p.m. kickoff on Friday. Cade's Courage. Let's talk about that real fast. That's the QR code to go to the GoFundMe page. If you have the means, go and help the family out. Cade's a 3-sport LeGrand High School athlete. He was at the football game on Friday. I think I saw a picture posted. And his family just needs some help with expenses. They're going to be fighting a rare form of Ewing sarcoma cancer. If you don't like the GoFundMe, there's an account set up under Cade's Courage or the McKinley family right here at U.S. Bank in town. You can go in there and help them out and donate. AM Sports Report brought to you by Buffalo Peak Golf Course. Meet me at the peak.
Are there some people that don't like the GoFundMe thing
Yeah.
because they
'Cause
take a percentage?
yeah, if you just do it if you just donate at whatchamacallit, a bank, they don't
Yeah.
take a percent. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
which I get. I mean,
right.
yeah. I mean, I can understand that. And I mean, it makes more sense to donate directly to the family. You know,
Yeah.
GoFundMe's more set up for like people that are, that can't get to,
Right.
to the family or whatever. If you can directly give the family money through a bank account or just going to them, that's ideal, right? I would think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, so I was texting during the game. Did you talk about the Pendleton Scappoose game at all?
No.
Yeah. So that was kind of a barn burner. I was like, I mean, you'd said that was going to be a barn burner, and it was. Yeah.
I knew it was gonna be
Number
close.
2 and number 8, right? Yeah.
Scappoose was 2, Pendleton was 8. Yep.
And then where is Baker? Because Scappoose is playing Baker this Friday. We're covering that
Baker
game.
got votes. Baker was receiving votes at the beginning of the year.
So what does that mean? They're not classified?
Not in the top 10.
Okay,
Yeah, but they got some votes.
Okay, got it.
So
Okay.
yeah, any team that gets votes is called receiving votes.
Oh, I see.
And then any team that breaks is in the top 10 in votes is the top 10
Right.
in the state.
But you said you thought Baker was going to be, they'd do
It's
pretty
either
well
going to
this
be
year.
them or Pendleton, I think, in the GOL this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say that against my own team, LeGrand, but I just don't think that we have the depth.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll see. Things could change, and this LeGrand team might surprise us.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Well, Pendleton, I mean, they kept match really well. I mean, the score ended up high, like 48-37 or.
Yeah, I saw. And Pendleton was up in the third quarter, and it was tied most of the.
Yeah.
Or a one-score game most of the first half, but Scappoose showed why they're the reigning state champs.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good. They're good every year.
Yeah.
But so is Pendleton.
Yep.
So it's like
No,
one of those-
it was a good game.
Us as LeGrand fans don't want to ever see Pendleton win, but we do want to see Pendleton win that game because we want them higher ranked when we play them because that would give us a higher boost in the ranks if we beat them.
Yeah.
So I root for the GOL when they're not playing us just because it helps with the rankings.
Right.
But unfortunately Pendleton didn't get it.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, what else is going on this week?
We need to look at the weather.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
And I heard that it's going to get warm again.
It's going to be in the 90s this week.
Yeah, I mean it was. Yesterday was kind of in the morning. It was a kind of a nice day, and then it got warm in the afternoon. Let's look at that weather graphic. So 80 today,
Whoa.
but it's going up. 89, 94, 97. Yeah.
It's going to get warmer and warmer. Bud
Yeah.
said, darn, Pendleton got beat in his most sarcastic voice possible. Oh, darn it. Shucky darn.
Yeah. No, let's go, put that weather graphic back up for a sec, will you? Yeah. So it's gonna be warm over the weekend, and this is a weird week because it's short. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we have another game, 2 more games in 2 days,
Yep.
3 days.
Yep.
So
And it's going to be hot, too, that day.
Right.
The hottest day of the week, 97. And it's, as you know, well, at least it's an hour later this week. But as you know, up there in that room,
yeah.
the air doesn't move real well. And when it's 100 degrees outside, having them windows open, you're just like turning on the heater. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like it just blows the hot
Yeah.
air in.
Well, I can tell you that I sympathize because I'm in the van, and it was warm.
You can turn the air conditioner on in the van.
The air conditioning doesn't work in the back of the van.
Oh.
Yeah, I wish it did. It
Yeah.
quit somewhere along the way. Otherwise, so it doesn't. I mean, I have a fan that I can turn on and put right. So it's funny. So in the middle of the game, I mean, most people know that it's so. So for the Pendleton games and the Baker games, we're setting up in the van and run a cable to where the camera and stuff is. Well, the whole thing is like we're running off of modems, cell modems, so we don't have a direct internet connection. And then the power, we have a big battery backup in the van, but the power's running a cord and it's running out to a pole somewhere and being plugged in. You just feel really vulnerable.
In Baker, you'll have a direct internet, right?
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, not in Pendleton. And once we get to the rodeo grounds, you'll have direct.
Right, but I found that there's only one game at the rodeo ground.
There is.
The very last game, yeah.
Because the timing and everything.
Yeah. And so, but anyhow, so we're midway through midway through the game, and a guy comes up to me with his extension cord. Hey, do you have some place where I can plug in? And I'm like, no. Yeah.
What did he want to plug in?
Well, it was one of I think it was the Scappoose team, and they were trying to record the game, and the cameras that they had brought had run out of batteries or something, and so he was looking for some place to plug in, and like, well, I think there's a power strip down that way, but you ain't plugging it in here.
Touching nothing, just stay away.
We're already on the knife's edge.
the Astoria team, their guys that were filming, they showed up and they always talked to us, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And an injured player was an offensive lineman, and he was like my size, shorter, but he was a big boy. And they're like, how do we get up in the crow's nest? I'm like, I'm pretty sure the other team isn't allowed to go up there. Like, it's just for the home team. And he was like, no, that ain't right, the coach. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's right. Like, you can go talk to Goodman. And I look at the kid who's got the camera. I'm like, you ain't getting up there anyways. Trust me on that, because I ain't getting up. It's an attic pull down with one of them fold.
No, I know.
Like, no way a 330-pound kid is getting up there.
When we started streaming, you should see the size of the case we used to push up that stairway.
Yeah,
No, it was crazy. I mean, I'll bet it was I don't know, 200, every bit of 200 pounds that somebody would get on the bottom and we'd push it, and it would just barely fit up that hole. Yeah, it was nuts.
Good way to get hurt while at work.
Yeah, well, and then we figured out that it's like, well, if you have a whole bunch of computer equipment and it's raining, you really don't want to be up there.
No,
you really want to be down.
Especially, why? Whose idea was that anyways? Like, you have to hold downstairs.
Well, but we didn't have, the cable was only like 25 feet.
Oh, and you only had one cable?
We only had one cable. I mean, this was like in the very beginning, yeah.
What, 1920 or?
And so then this is
streaming
was before
the first
streaming was easy, yeah. Now people pick up, I'm streaming on my phone. Like, if you only knew how complicated that once was, yeah. Yeah. So then we graduated to, we had a cable that was long enough that we'd put it down where in just the room right below.
Which is the scorekeepers.
Where's the scorekeepers? Yeah. I mean, that's where the scoreboard and scorekeepers and PA but we had to take up a corner, and they weren't very welcoming. No. But they adapted.
I'll tell you what. You could totally tell that Friday was the first game of the season. Ooh, scorekeeper was rough, and so was the chain game. I was like, man, these guys are rough. They're having a hard time because I rely a lot on them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not right. Like, let me check. And then the scoreboard says it's third down. The chain game says it's first down. The ref's giving the signal for second down. I'm pretty sure that it's third down.
No, I'll tell you what was so Scappoose has this hurry up offense,
Yeah.
And I mean the chain gang. I mean they just wore down the defense. I mean, because they would just. I mean, it was fast enough that I mean, even if it was a good play, I couldn't do a replay. I didn't have enough time to do a replay. But anyhow, the chain gang was really having troubles keeping up with them because they'd get a first down and then they'd be waiting on the chains to get set before they'd start the game again.
Yep. And the team they have to wait on the chain game. That's just part of it.
Yeah.
It was definitely a first game of the year. We'll chalk it up to that.
Yeah.
Chalk it up to the first game. There was a lot of penalties in the LeGrand game. A lot.
Yeah.
Both teams just like first game of the year penalties.
Do they get like jittery and a lot of
Yeah, you're just
offsides
not. You're just not. Yeah, you're not. A lot of times, they've only had a month of practice. And
Yeah.
they're just not ready for. Well, it's not that they're not ready. It's just they haven't got the kinks worked out in their actual game. Bud says, "I know it's hard to produce these games, but great to see the games when you can't be there." Thanks, Bud. I mean, it's not hard per se. Now, we kind of have a system worked out. It's not like hard, like when I first started doing it, that we didn't have like a system. It would change every week. You know what I mean? Like when I first started calling the games, it wasn't like nailed down exactly how we were going to do it every week. But now, like, we have it to where, I mean, we could basically put anybody in there. You know what I mean? Like, not anybody, but you know what I mean? Like, we have the system kind of mapped out.
Yeah. There's an enormous amount of wires and technology.
Yeah, that's not mine.
I mean, and that's the thing that stresses me out is that there's a lot that can go wrong. That's, one cord that's doesn't find its way to the right place, and it kind of, and in the end you can get by. I mean, there's some things this morning we're just getting by with, but still it just rattles you, and so then that rattles everything, So, but, and the one thing that when we're doing those things is like, we got to play the commercials. We got to, I mean, whatever happens, one is we got to get the game streamed, and we got to play the commercials.
We got to get the reads in.
Yep.
I should have taken that phone call live. Dang it. I wish I would have looked, but I can't. When it rings, I can't see my screen. It was Ben Welch. I should have taken it live.
Hey, we're on the air.
You don't need to come in for an interview. We're going to do it right now. I should have taken it live, though. We could have talked about Benny a little bit.
Yeah.
Keeping that kid in line.
Yeah. So, well, what else we got? Anything else?
No.
No.
Another game this Friday. Well, 2 games again this Friday.
And are they both at 7?
Yep. All the rest of the games are at 7 now.
Okay.
There was only one game that was at 6, and it was that game on Friday.
Yeah.
All the rest of the home games for all 3 of the teams are all at 7.
We will have, I mean, the setup is a little different for us, because when we've done these, I haven't done a game in Baker City where we were on the stadium side, and this year we're going to be on the stadium side.
As we should. I mean, that's the best place to be.
It is, but in the past when we've done the games, they just haven't been able to accommodate in the press box and so on and so forth. And
Really?
Yeah.
They wouldn't let you up there?
Well, there's just, I mean, it was complicated in a number of ways.
Huh.
So, and the press box is, unless we have, I mean, from a camera angle, the top from the visitor side, the top of the bleachers is actually a better camera angle.
Yeah, so why not just put it right there?
Well, because then we don't have internet connection. I mean, there's a lot of complicated. So we have been on the visitor side. This year we're going to be on the home stadium side, which we have internet that we can plug into. It's just a whole lot. It's easier production wise for us.
Couldn't you just park the van right there like we do for and then just run a cable to the camera and that's it?
Like for Shrine?
Yeah.
I mean, no. So that is what we're going to do this year.
Oh, but you're going to put the camera all the way up in the press box?
Right.
Oh.
Right. Yeah.
How is that easier than just running the camera into the stands?
No, we're talking about the visitor side versus the home side. So in the past, these games we've done from the visitor side.
Yeah, which is the side that doesn't have the press box.
Correct, right.
Yeah.
But from a production standpoint, it's a lot easier and a lot more stable if we do it from the home side.
Yeah,
And so
and
this is
my question is, you said that you're going to put a camera up in the press box.
correct, like we do
Wouldn't
for
it be
Shrine.
easier to just run the cord from the van to the stands? Because that's a better angle anyways.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about this. The stands on the visitor side is a better angle.
Oh, we shoot the Shrine game from the stands, don't we?
No, we do. We have the two lower cameras are
Yeah.
from the stands. The center camera is right beside you guys, and that's where we're going to be.
Greg Maddox wants to know, how's Rashawn Jones looking for Baker this year? He's good. You'll get to see him on Friday. He's really good. He's gotten at least 3 D1 offers as of now: Boise State, Washington State, Oregon State, and he's only a junior. So,
Wow.
I mean, he's a generational talent, a generational athlete for Eastern Oregon, not just Baker. And as long as he stays healthy and keeps on this path, he's a D1 football player, no doubt. And we don't see that very often here.
No, well, that's good.
Yeah.
No, and then in Baker we'll also have a play-by-play announcer. Jesse Taub will be doing the play-by-play, so that'll be fun. We don't have that in Pendleton,
Right.
so
We will for the last game of the year.
yeah.
I'll
But I
do
mean,
that.
if anybody knows anybody who wants to do play-by-play stuff in Pendleton, we would talk to them, try them out, put them on the mic. So, yeah, it adds a lot to the game. But yeah, so well, you want to get us out of here?
Let's do it.
Short show today.
On this day, September 3rd, 1777, the flag of the United States flies in battle for the first time at Couch's Bridge, Delaware, a skirmish during the American Revolutionary War. 1838, on this day, Frederick Douglass escapes from slavery, disguised as a sailor. 1935, on this day, the first automobile to exceed 300 miles per hour. Malcolm Campbell powers Bluebird to 301.1 miles an hour at the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah. 1995, on this day, eBay, founded by Pierre Odemeyer. 2013, on this day, Microsoft purchased Nokia for $7.2 billion. On this day, in 2014, the #1 movie in America was Guardians of the Galaxy. Quote of the day comes from Og Mandino. Always do your best. What you plant now, you will harvest later. One more time. Always do your best. What you plant now, you will harvest later. That's it.
All right.
Yeah, some streams on Friday coming up. Oh, I have EOU. I got to get those EOU volleyballs out. I'm going to get those out tomorrow. And then I have EOU track and field and EOU men's soccer and EOU football coming up. And then I'm going to go to the high school. There's just a lot to the hardest part is just getting people scheduled, really. Like honestly, like getting people in here is the hardest part. The editing, all that other stuff is just minuscule compared to setting everything up and getting the interviews done, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and before we quit, we always appreciate our sponsors that help us, but we also, if you are a regular watcher and you want to support us, and you go to our EOA.network, there is a place where you can give us a tip or donate to the cause on a regular basis. That helps us continue the programming. That's something new that we've just started, and we're going to be throwing out there from time to time, because I know that there'd be some people that say, hey, we'd love to support you in some manner, and we would appreciate it. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate you tuning in.
See you Thursday.
Yep.